Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome to another episode of Glory Hunter, where we are on deadline day. And I left last episode with the pending question: is Joe Gomez and Bellerin going to choose to come to West Ham, or are we in a position where we're going to miss out on both our targets late in the window? It's taken to the 11th hour of deadline day, but we have a decision being made by both players, and we're going to find out one click of the button if they want to come in or not. More importantly, thank you for the support on the content here with the Glory Hunter. Give it a like, do subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we do stream it occasionally down on Twitch as well. And without further ado, we're getting both because Gomez doesn't need a work permit, but Bellerin is getting his work permit. So Joe Gomez in, 16 mil, 45 mil release fee for clubs in the Champions League. I actually think that there's a lot of clubs that will meet that very quickly. So the goal would be to have a really good year and try and get his contracts done another 6 months to up it. In saying that, though, we'll find out if that's going to be the case or not. But Joe Gomez out the door. They're out the door and into our house, which is great. Allgard keeps rejecting offers. I'm really annoyed. I keep getting bids for 9.5, and then he keeps not wanting to go anywhere, which is not awful. And then Hector Bellerin coming in as well. 5.5 mil. Porto went in and for a fee for a free transfer, so he's chosen to come to me here in the Premier League. I'm happy to do this. It's 3.6 mil up front, plus the rest is over clauses, which is fine. With that as well, he's a very good right back. It means Kafau can now be the backup, and Ben Johnson can be that third choice if needed. But both come in, and both are absolutely quite incredible, which is great as well. Now, what we are going to do is we do have to register the squad, which is going to be a little bit of a problem at times. No, it's not. Thought we're a little bit more deeper than what we are. Joe Gomez in, Hector Bellerin also, by the way, homegrown because he was trained here for 3 years. So beautiful was Hector Bellerin. And there you are. The squad actually is fine. Europa League squad might be a bit interesting to pick. In terms of that, we have not been given that draw yet, but we have got a doubleheader this episode against Chelsea. That is correct. FA Cup, we got Chelsea, and we've got also then Chelsea in the league. And as you can tell here from the league table, they're one of the teams we're battling with for Europe. So today's episode is going to be a Chelsea doubleheader. We've signed Joe Gomez, we've signed Hector Bellerin. Mercifully, they both decided to come and say yes on deadline day. And now it's a question of, are we good enough now to finish in the top 5 with those two reinforcements and the points we already have on the board? The answer should be yes. Game 1 of 2 here against Chelsea. We have got them at a bit of an interesting time because we've been a little bit mixed in the league since we last met. Since the transfer window and the results as you see here, Arsenal, we lost 2-0 at the Emirates, and Joe Gomez and Bellerin made their debut. We beat Bournemouth 3-0 and Villa 2-0 to keep 2 clean sheets before we lost 1-0 away to Brighton, which there's no shame in doing because they're a good side. But we did play particularly well, just no goals. Just feel like at times we do struggle when we want to. And as you can see, since the restart, since the World Cup, you would say that we've been patchy, where you think we're really strong in the opening tenure of the league. As you can see, 26 games played, we're now been leapfrogged by Man City, sit third, 1 point ahead of Spurs, who are fourth. Chelsea have a game in hand and do play us, which would be a 6-point swing to see them get very close to overtaking us. And you can see us slowly start drifting back from, are we a title contender sort of spot, which we weren't, right? Now drifting definitely into this 5th, 6th playoff for Europa League or Champions League, depending on where we go. Secondly, let's talk about the Conference League really quickly. We got drawn against Slovian as well, and if you don't realise, we had them in our group here. Slovian is the team that did beat us, the only team that did beat us in this run. They beat us 3-2 in the 94th minute in a game we absolutely dominated in. So a very good draw, because you would say that shouldn't happen again, and we pumped them at home. So I'm not going to give you that as an episode. If we draw one of the bigger sides, I would have. That should be relatively straightforward. We're playing away from home first. As long as we don't lose by more than 2 goals, I see a world where we smack them at home and away we go. With that being said, let's go and get into this one here. Danny Ings not 100% fit, isn't going to start today. I could start Skamaka, but the form of Diarastica is actually dictating that I do that, and I'm going to move Marcus Thuram up front for this game. Outside of that, everyone's pretty the same in terms of pick. Joe Gomez's form has been a little bit whatever. So I'm actually going to give Caleb the start here because he has a pretty good understanding with Zuma as well. Areola has played a few minutes of late. Just trying to think. Happiness is delighted. Last 2 games available for selection. If Fabianski's getting upset, I'm going to start Fabianski. Is concerned having missed the last 2 games. All right, I'm just going to start playing him. I know it's the other way around, but that's fine. But outside of that, Bellerin's been actually really good since coming in, been really, really aggressive and attacking. But he might be the reason why we're conceding is maybe Bellerin's committing too much as well. But anyway, it's Fabianski, Bellerin, Zuma, Okoli, Creswell, Rice, Luis Pasquetta, Suchek, Bowen, Diarastica, and Thuram. I'm actually going to move it to a fullback on support as well. And the main reason for that is big game against Chelsea, let's do it that way. And then if it's a smaller game, we definitely go the other way around. But he has looked good when he has played Bellerin, to be fair. Outside of that, let's have a look at the Chelsea lineup here for the first of the doubleheader. Kepa, Reece James, Fofana, Thiago Silva, and Asby. Pretty good side. I think we have to get it. Thiago Silva getting a little bit older now, but still very elite. N'Golo Kante, not 100% fit, but with Kovacic, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Raheem Sterling, Joe Felix. It is a very, very, very good side. Enzo Fernandez, yet again, not starting, and he's only a squad player. He needs to be a little bit better on FM. Badia Sheila should definitely be playing for him too. These are sort of guys that I would be looking at down the line. You know, Benny Sheila, even at like 30 years of age, plus he's still going to be elite. So I'm going to look at all of them. Anyway, let's get into it and see what happens. And we never know. Now, FA Cup is a trophy we would love to win. Early free kick though, and in a scoreable area for Hakim Ziyech. And he woes and whips it actually back stick. It's cleared away. Raheem Sterling picks that one up. But this is a big game. Win this game is going to give us a lot of confidence, but we're 1-0 down to Raheem Sterling. Brilliance, and there we go. We did go behind when we played him at Stamford Bridge. But, yeah, this is one of those ones where you didn't want to draw a Chelsea sick round. You want him in a quarter or a semi-final, and it's just one game, you know, to get through, which obviously every game in the Cup. But you feel like in a really big game, you keep things tight. It's all right. They have him at Stamford Bridge in one of the early rounds. Interesting. Anyway, we concede yet again, but hopefully we can find some work here. Diarastica drives inside, which I like seeing him out there anyway. Jared Bowen looks for Thuram, who's quick. Thiago Silva doesn't do well. And then in the end, we gave it back to him anyway. Diarastica, very poor choice to not bring the ball down instead of header it straight back to him. And now on the break come Chelsea. And Kovacic looks over the top for Hakim Ziyech. It should be Fabianski's and his. But yeah, very interesting start from us. Anyway, Okoli, Creswell, driving. Finds Luis Pasquetta. Looks for Bowen, who might have been offside. It's a great finish if he's on. I think he is. I think Marcus Thuram's offside and Bowen's on. Great touch, and before it comes down, he gets a toe poke around Kepa. And I think that's going to count. It's 1-1. Great goal. Great ball. In the end, Luis Pasquetta picking the lock because he's outrageous. Great touch, and before he hits the ground, outside of his right boot, and I think Kepa wasn't set, kind of just looked as like, oh, he's got there, waiting for Bowen to let it bounce. And in the end, we're going to have a look at some lines because we won't be able to see it. As you can see, Marcus Thuram definitely offside on the picture, but Bowen on. And there we go. We lead. I wish we led. 1-1. Both teams have scored with their only shot on target, which is interesting on FM. Happens a fair bit, to be fair. But yeah, Diarastica, we're going to definitely move into an inverted winger here. On support as well. I want him to get in, look to win the ball, but more importantly, drop in a touch deep and really create as well. Thuram with an early booking. Might play Skamaka in that next game. If Danny Ings is back, would play Danny Ings. Anyway, Creswell could have left it for a goal kick, but typical football manager loves... typical football manager. Oh, the ball's going out of play and there's no one around me. I better head it. New patch has come out, by the way. Meant to fix defending. In what world is that dangerous? It's flying over your head in raining conditions and no one's made a run. In the end, great finish by Hakim Ziyech. It's just a shocking highlight in terms of where it's come from. It's a great finish. But that is disgustingly disgusting to concede a goal like that. 2-1 down, just like the last time we played them. But we are good enough to do what we can do. Fabianski did not hide the fact that he was going to play at the Zuma, did he? But there we are, a collie, Pasquetto, first time out the Creswell, really well worked by us. We do get going, we're really good. D'Arastica, one touch, Bowen, Rice. This deserves a goal. D'Arastica, he threw Kepperin in. Oh my word, we might have just seen one of the best goals we're going to score when we're in charge of West Ham. Because that was coast to coast and sublime. In the 49th minute, it was unreal. Can we replay from the goal kick in this highlight? Here we go. Fabianski into Kurt Zuma. Finds a collie out the other side. Pasquetta drops in first time in the Creswell when we're out of the press. And Creswell goes on a run. Pasquetta first time to D'Arastica to find Bowen, Rice, D'Arastica, all one touch. And then in the end, the finish. Look, to be fair, Kepa should have saved it. But there we go. And now FM's going to make us go 3-2 down from kickoff. Is that what's going on here? Goals, mate. Goals are flying in no matter what's going on here. Kante, Kai Havertz, Kovacic, Thiago Silva, Asby. Now they're doing what they just did to what we just did to them. Sterling's through to Joe Felix. This game is brutal. 5 goals in 50 minutes of football. Realistic. Very realistic. Very realistic. Both teams have had 3 shots or 2 shots on target and scored all of them on target. Looks like the keepers don't want to make a save today. Pasquetta wins it back and then apparently stops and leaves Kovacic to take it off him. Kante. Not one midfielder has stepped up to win a ball today. Declan Rice has been missing all day. Fofana with a good touch there and a great ball to Reece James. Goal for Chelsea would be game over, you feel. Kovacic can hit him. Kovacic can hit him. Schumacher up front. Pasquetta's had a pretty interesting game. Manuel Lanzini, I think, goes into the hole here as an advanced playmaker or an attacking midfielder. Maybe on support, just a link up. Gomez in for Kurt Zuma's had a stinker. Foul in for Hector Bellerin, I think, as well. Don't deserve to be 4-2 down. 0.6 XG and 0.47. If this is what the new patch is like, this is my first game playing since the patch, because I haven't been able to play the last couple of days, then I don't like this new patch. There's every chance is flying in. Very unrealistic. Anyhow, Kufau, Moreno, Joe Gomez, Declan Rice, Skamaka dropping in, Creswell. We need a score from this highlight to have a chance, you feel. Creswell, Skamaka, Thuram has to score. Kepa with a save. Kepa has to score. Doesn't. Ball in. Cleared away. Feel like that had to go in to have a chance. Yet again, the midfield non-existent. Every highlight, the midfield just watch guys run. 5-2 down. 5-2 down in a game that is ridiculously ridiculous. Falls to him, of course it does. Don't deserve it at all. When you score a goal like that and you go 2-2 up, that is a joke. Ball over the top of CH. Reno doesn't win. Jesus Christ. Every highlight goes in. Every fucking highlight. Chelsea, we've scored 6 goals off a 1.64 XG. What do you do? What do you do? My first game playing since this new patch. If this is how every game is going to be, there's no point playing Football Manager anymore. That is disgusting. We lose 6-2 in a game where the XG is not even equal to 2 across the whole game. Wow. See you guys in 3 days' time for Chelsea in the London Stadium in the league. All right, we're 3 days later. Damien has forgot to rest some boys, but oh well. And we're going to try and win, I think. I think we're going to try and win because that's what we do. But yeah, look, Danny Ings is back fit and firing, so Giorastic is going to come out. Marcus Thuram is going to go back into the team. The rest of the team is going to pick itself. We are slumping in form. Please do note, the board is extremely disappointed that we didn't reach the later rounds of the FA Cup. If they can't get over the fact that we copped Chelsea, then I don't care. If they want to sack me, by all means. I think we're doing very well everywhere else, so that's up to them. And yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, the team is as followed. Fairly straightforward. Joe Gomez comes back in, and Danny Ings comes back in. Outside of that, the rest of the team stays as it is, and we're just going to see how we go here against Chelsea. I'm going to stay in the same system. However, if we concede another 6 goals, and considering that this is my second game since the new patch, I will probably only play the 4-3-3 another handful of times. And then if I see a third or a fourth result where every highlight's going in and we're conceding a lot, I'm going to have to draw up a new tactic because I haven't had a tactic. I've been using this 4-3-3 since basically the last patch, which was basically the start of the game. So maybe it's just broken, it's not meant to work. But I don't know. I feel like that should be very, very difficult. If anything, if defending's a bit better, this should be a lot better of a system because it's very good defensively. Anyway, Pesqueta, Declan Rice. Good press here from Chelsea. We are insistent on going the same way, though, and I hope we lose the ball to get, to learn a lesson here. This ball has to thank you. Eventually went out to Kurt Zouma because now we open up play. Hector Bellerin now finds Bowen, who goes and looks for Thuram, who can win a header and then gives it straight back to them. It's a weird ball, that one, because it's not really aimed anywhere. Anyway, that should be Kurt Zouma's ball, and heads it straight to Havertz. Alright, this new match engine is no longer good. So they read headers now, but they head it straight back to the opposition. Is that what happens? Because we saw that with Creswell in the last game. And deflections fall everywhere. Rightio. Oh, the match engine. So Kurt Zouma has a free header. I'm going to head it to the one Chelsea guy within the vicinity. And for the second time in a row, we've had a block fall back to their play in the 6-yard box. Should have played the whole season before the patch. We're getting picked apart now. Suyacek wins. Danny Ings looked half offside there. Unfortunately, that's not going to count. Fortunately, he's off. Shame. No, he's given us on. Okay. Looked off. Good press here from Suyacek. But I still think that from what I've seen so far, that there's too many mistakes now being made in the match engine. Like Chelsea are a world-class side. Kante should not be misplacing a pass like that. Very, very rarely happens. Yet again, both teams, one shot on target for one goal as well. Doesn't happen like that in real life. Just a little bit of realism, FM. Saying that, though, a point here would be massive against Chelsea. Can we take the lead, maybe? Header? Gomez? Oh, unlucky. Mendy makes a save. Clean sheets are kind of going out the window. I'm delighted with the half because we've actually played really well. We'll come back there. Marcus Thuram looking a little bit leg-release. So was Creswell. Going to give him another 5 minutes and I'm going to take them both off here. Koulibaly. Enzo Fernandez. Mason Mount dropping in. For all people, Creswell decided he was the one that had to go press him there. But interesting. James made a good run. Thuram does so well. Pesqueta now. This is where Danny Ings needs to get on his bike. Then he looked for Bowen, the wrong player. If he puts that in Danny Ings' path, that's a goal. It's a goal-scoring opportunity, at least. Now, Thiago Silva. Fofana. Reece James. That's a great ball to Mason Mount. That's a great goal. Oh, we're getting carved apart. There's nothing we can do about it. Yet again, we give the ball away in an area where we should be scoring, and it's a great ball. And I'm actually really happy Mount's cut that back. But yeah, yet again, Chelsea 3 shots too. 3 shots too. Sterling's in, should have scored. It's the first highlight we've had against Chelsea. It's the second game in the 55th minute where they have not scored from the highlight. Gomez, Creswell. We're good at playing out. We've seen that. Marcus Thuram does well. Creswell again. Declan Rice. Look at Suyacek's feet. Ignored him. Finds him now. But if he found him earlier, he could have turned out. Pasqueta's in trouble. And that was it. That was just one ball. If the ball had to be into the middle of the park. But no, let's just lose it. Headed away. Suyacek needs to win. Finds Creswell, who we need to get off. Pasqueta again been put under pressure. Fire it in here, please. Thank you. Now turn. Suyacek. Bowen. Big switch. Don't mind it. Thuram needs to get on his bite. That's the ball. Marcus Thuram. What a finish. Ball over the top from Creswell and Thuram thumps home. It's 2-2. I think at the end of the day, we need to understand we're playing Chelsea the last 2 games. And if we're putting up this much of a fight against Chelsea, even though they scored free from outside the box in the FA Cup game, you just got to deal with it. But anyway, on the volley, what a finish from Marcus Thuram. That is a great finish. One touch and hit. We are going to make a couple changes though. Aaron Creswell is out for Emerson, who's actually going to go on a fullback on support as well. Don't want him to overcommit here. Point would be handy. Pasqueta is looking legless. Diarastica. Declan Rice is going to come out. Marino's going to go into there. And Suchek is going to go as a ball-winning midfielder and defend. Marcus Thuram is dead. I think Fornals is the other option there too. Jared Bowen's going to have to play the 90 here. Same with Curtis anymore. Here we go. Will we find a goal? Will there be a winner in this one? Bowen is legless. 76 minutes played. Maxwell Cornet could come in. Skamaka maybe is a different option, could come in. Danny Ings looking dead too. Bowen. I think we've got to leave Bowen out there, don't we? And I'm going to throw Skamaka in. As the complete forward to bring others into play. Bit of an aerial presence as well. We've been the better side here. Bowen's corner. Headed over the bar from Zuma. Would have been a massive goal and a massive moment. Mason Mount now from a fair way out. That's going to go over the bar. 5 minutes and some change. Is someone going to nab it late? Just got a feel, doesn't it, this one? Is there a highlight? There isn't. What a pulsating 2-2. 2 really big matches, to be fair. We've played really well there. 13 shots, only 4 on target. 1.36 XG. Yet again, Chelsea, 2 shots on target for 2 goals. And at some stage, I think there were 3 shots for 3 on target, 3 goals. So every highlight at the minute just goes in, which is not nice. I don't think the 4-3's in trouble. It's my first 2 matches I've played since the patch, and both of them I've played Chelsea. I have to see how to play against some weaker sides too to see what the 4-3's like. But usually this 4-3 keeps clean sheets. Since we brought in Bellerin and Gomez, clean sheets have gone out the window, which are 2 definite improvements in the squad, which makes no sense. But, however, it's a big point out of the FA Cup, which is a shame, but it means that we can now focus our attention on the Conference League. We should be through the next round because we've got a very easy draw. And that leaves us in a position where, look, get through a couple of these more harder games in the league, and then we're going to have, 8 games to make top 4 or not. In the end, though, we played really well there. The data hub was going to show that we played really well there. Right? Should show that. It's not going to show that. Match momentum, there we are. It reckons Chelsea dominated the second half. If you have a look at the statistics, statistics-wise, we had more of the ball and more chances, did we not? Or am I blind? We had more chances, more shots on target, and very similar possession, and similar-ish pass completion. I would say statistically from that passage of the match that we just watched, we were the better side. The data hard's saying that they were. I don't think so. The only thing I would say is their XG's inflated because they scored a goal from the 6-yard box. Anyhow, it is what it is. Have a look at Chelsea's 2 goals. One's fallen from inside the 6-yard box there. Another one is a very well-worked goal. And in the FA Cup, we scored a wonder goal. They scored a fantastic goal from kickoff, and they scored 3 from outside the box, and scored 6 goals with an XG of 1.64. We just got to have to wear it. Next time that we see each other in terms of the episode, Spurs is probably a big league game, but probably a bit too early. I reckon it's going to be around the Manchester City game and the next round of the Conference League. Depending on who we draw, depends on what we do. Have a look at our run home, though. Man City, United, and Liverpool all still to play for us this year. That is absolutely massive. You would feel that we have to win against Leeds, Fulham, Wolves, Brentford, Forest, and Southampton to have any shot of finishing inside the top 4. More than likely, probably finishing 5th or 6th. I would happily finish 5th. 6th means Conference League qualifying, I think. But at the same stage, maybe we just will go win the Conference League, and that's all that matters. Till then, I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.